So hi everyone, I am joined by Victoria. Hello Victoria. And Victoria was one of my trainee yoga teachers last year. And she's joined me today to talk about mindset of committing to be a yoga teacher. Because we've talked a lot about experiences. And it's good to talk about those decision-making process as well. So Victoria, if you can remember back all those many moons ago, what were your fears that you had before deciding to train to teach or committing to a course?
So many. I think the biggest initial hurdle is imposter syndrome, and it's that who do I think I am that I can, after doing yoga for 3 years, suddenly decide I want to teach it, and it's a commitment. It is a big
Yeah,
commitment,
it is a big commitment.
and I think there's let's start with the imposter syndrome. I think everybody has that,
Yes.
and I know for a fact, like when we turned up on that first day of the course, that first evening, and being outside and walking into that packed room full of, in my head, proper yogis who knew what they were doing and could probably all do like a one-armed balance in full splits and knew it all. And I just remember standing outside just thinking, oh Vic, what have you got yourself into now? Like, who do you think you are, chipping up? And I didn't even have like a proper yoga mat. Like my yoga mat was like £5 from Home Bargains. Like, do you know what I mean? I didn't have any of the gear, but I had a bit of an idea. Like
Yeah.
I just felt like I had nothing to lose by doing it, but so much to gain. So I think
Yes.
once you get over that imposter syndrome, and believe me, there were some really experienced yogis on our course, and everybody felt like that. That
Yeah,
first,
everyone did.
everyone feels that, and I think actually I think it's really important to feel that because it's a bit humble. And
Yes. Yeah, do you know what you reminded me though? Because it took me many years to actually put together a yoga teacher training course because I had my specialist shorter courses and everyone kept asking me, are you going to do it? And I was like, I don't think I know enough, I don't, and I kept saying, and it's the same one. I think at whatever level you are, you have this, in the end with imposter syndrome, you've got two choices with it. You can let it stop you from, achieving your dreams, your goals or moving forward, or you can just stay stuck with it. And that's not a happy place to be. You have to bury it, don't you, and move on.
you do have to bury it, and you just kind of have to get over yourself a bit as well. Like just sling your ego, leave that at the door, and just
Yeah.
be yourself, and just
Yeah.
in that room and get on with it. So I think the imposter syndrome was really big, and then God, I really remember like signing up for it, and I filled in all the stuff, and I think I can't remember if it was the paying of the initial deposit or the sending the form or whatever it was, and I literally sat there for about an hour with like doing it on my phone with my thumb like hovering over that button, going, oh God, just come on, just should I? And I am the procrastination queen.
Yeah.
I gave myself every reason and excuse under the sun to not do it. And I get it. Like I get, and everybody will tell themselves these same things. Oh, I haven't got time. I'm too
Yeah.
busy. I should spend that money on something else. Oh
Mm,
my God, it's this money, but I could spend it on that instead,
mm.
something for the family or something that, needs doing. And I think you just have to, like, I really believe like the biggest investment you ever make is in yourself.
In yourself, yeah.
And I remember like just going, oh, and hitting that button and the feeling of like joy. I just knew that I'd done the right thing. It
Yes.
was just instant, but it is a big commitment. And
Yes.
if you didn't try and talk yourself out of it, I think that would be abnormal. I think
There's
it's
almost that bit beforehand, isn't it? When you make an inquiry and you fill out the form, it's almost like a little bit of a dream, a fantasy. And it's when you pay the deposit and you actually say, I am coming, that you're like, oh. I tell you what I get is like, oh, I really want to train, but I can't do this pose. And I'm always like, oh my God, nor can I. or I used to be able to do that, you know.
I think that's a huge part of it as well. But it's like when anyone, it's like all those things we hear, isn't it? That we, no matter what level you're at, even if you've done like 6 yoga classes and you're just chatting to your friends about it, there'll always be someone that says, oh, I couldn't possibly do yoga because I'm not flexible, or I can't touch my toes. It's the same thing. You don't need to be able to do a handstand in the middle.
No.
To be a yoga teacher. Like it's just another excuse. Your mind telling you, this is not for you. You can't do this. But I kind of think if you've got to this point where you're sat here watching these videos and you've done your research and you've found you and Jane, like you already know that you want to do this. Like, just what are you waiting for? Like, if not now, when?
Yes, that's a great, isn't it? If not now, when? And I think taking that forward from where you guys were at the end of the course, that was kind of our message in terms of get teaching. Yeah, and I know we've been talking about your little idea that you've got, which we'll keep secret, but it's the same story, isn't it? Why not? Why are you not going to do that? And just get on with it. Yeah. What are you waiting for?
It is that. And it's like we've said so many times, like, my God, there's no better time than now. Like, and I know that you've said it, like the world needs yoga, and I know we've said that a lot, but I also think as we, God, we've all had a hell of a shared experience.
Yes, yeah.
And as the vaccine rolls out and the world hopefully starts to get back to the old normal wasn't necessarily great.
No.
And if you've maybe been in that place where, I don't know, you weren't necessarily really happy at work, you weren't carving out that time for yourself, or I don't know, you always had a reason or an excuse to not do those things.
Put things off.
Yeah, to put things off. Like, oh my God, now's the time. Like, what are you waiting for? Like another global pandemic to come along and take all those choices.
I'm not waiting for another one. And actually, you probably like picked up on this. Probably there's 2 reasons. Well, there's loads of reasons why you might train to be a teacher, but it might just be because you do want a career change, you want to do something different, or you just want to do something for yourself. There are some people on our course that just were doing it because they loved yoga and they wanted to know more, and that's more than good enough.
And I think that's actually a really important point as well, because I think for me, and I know, my experience isn't going to be the same as anyone else's experience, but for me, it was like, whatever you think you know about yoga, like, forget it. Like, until you immerse yourself in an experience like this, oh God, there's so much more. It's like therapy, this course.
Oh, it is therapy, totally. Yeah.
It's just as much about what happens off the mat, outside of the course, as what happens inside of it. Well, for me, certainly, I think it really teaches you about who you are, also certainly about who you are not, or who you don't want to be, or what you want to let go of and not carry that stuff forward. And I really think, like, with COVID, and we've talked a lot about adapting and stuff. Now, at this point where we're maybe on this roadmap to coming out, you get to decide how you emerge from this.
Yes, that's a nice way of putting it.
And I think if there's always been that little, I'd love to practice more yoga, or I'd love to do this, or God, I'd love to be a yoga teacher. Like, what
just do it. Just do it. Yes, that's it. Let's leave our interview there on this mantra. Just do it. Just do it. Vic, I love that. So whether you're training to be a yoga teacher, or there's something else in your life that you want to do and you're not doing it, just do it.
Just do it.
On that note, my darling, we shall go.